Hello everybody, this is our video number 1 and from this video we will start a new chapter, that is the pollution of the air and the water. And everybody know that the air and the water is very important component to survive a life in earth. Okay, so today in this video we will discuss the air pollutions. What is the air pollutions? Any undesirable change in the physical, chemical or the biological characteristics of the air, that is called the air pollutions. So what is the air pollution? The air pollution is nothing but the undesirable change in the physical or the chemicals or the biological characteristics of the air, and all those substances which is causes or which is responsible to create this type of the pollutions, that is called the pollutant. And in this video we will discuss the sources of the air pollutions, and mainly these sources of the air pollutions in categorized in the two parts. The first one is the natural sources and the man-made sources. After that, we will discuss the effect of the air pollutions. The effect of the air pollutions, the first one, it is very important, and the greenhouse effect and the global warming. Second one, acid rain. Third one, depletion of the ozone layers. And the last one, the health problem. And after that, we will discuss how to prevent these air pollutions. Okay, so let's start with the sources of the air pollutions. The sources of the air pollutions is divided into the two parts. The first one is the natural sources. The natural source of the air pollutions include the dust stored in the desert air and the smoke from the forest fires and the pollen floating in the air and the volcanic eruption. And the volcanic eruption is probably the most lethal natural sources of air pollutions, and these lead to the large amount of ash and the toxins from into the atmosphere. So this is the natural sources of air pollutions. Next one is a man-made. The first point is the combustions of the fuel like petrol, diesel in the automobiles is the major source of the air pollutions, and it produces the several pollutants which include the nitrogen oxide, the gaseous hydrocarbons and the carbon monoxide, and as well as the large quantities of the particulates, and which remain suspended in air for the long time. Second point, the burning of the fuels for the household purpose that generates the harmful gases like the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and the particulate matter. Okay, and the industries and the factories emit the harmful gases like the sulfur dioxide, chlorine and the dust, which also add to the air pollutions. After the point is the thermal power plant and the nuclear power plant to release the harmful gases like sulfur dioxide and the radioactive pollutant. Next one is very important, the chlorofluorocarbons, and in short it is called the CFC. Okay, and which are used in the refrigerator, air conditioner and the aerosol spray damage the ozone layers of the atmosphere. And the last man-made sources of the air pollution is the smog, is thick fog like the layer in the atmosphere the scene during the winter, and it is made by the smoke and the fog. Okay? And also the some pollutant and their sources. So consider that this table contains the two columns. The first one, the pollutant and the sources. The first pollutant is the carbon monoxide and incomplete. The sources of the carbon monoxide mainly the incomplete combustions of the coal and the fuel in vehicles. Okay? And the nitrogen dioxide, the combustions of the diesel, petrols and the kerosene and coal also. Sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide, the sources, the main sources of the sulfur dioxide is the burning of the fuels like the coal in power plants and the volcanic eruption. Okay? And the smoke and exhaust of the vehicles. And the particulate matter, the source of this particulate matter is the industries that like the steel making, mining and the power plants. So these are the sources of the man-made sources of the air pollutions. Next important subtopic is the effect of the air pollutions. The first, the greenhouse effect and the global warming. So as the sun ray enter into the earth's atmosphere, and some of these are absorbed by the earth's surface while some of the reflected back into the space, and these reflected rays are trapped by some gases present in the atmosphere of the earth, and which result in the warming of the earth, and this naturally occurring phenomenon that is responsible for the heating of the earth's surface and the atmosphere, that is the greenhouse effect. And the above mentioned gas are the commonly called the greenhouse effect. Okay, so the causes of occurring in the increase in the level of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere beyond a safe limit, this has led to the considerable heating of the earth, leading of the global warming. And the average increase in the earth's temperature is called the global warming, and the main cause of the global warming are the deforestations, burning of the fossil fuels, biological degradations of the organic matter to release the methane gas, etc. So the what is the reason for the main reason for the global warming? The global warming, first one is the deforestation, second one is the burning of the fossil fuels and the biological degradation of the organic matter. Global warming is a major environmental issue in the present time, and it will result in the melting of the glaciers and the polar ice cap, and thus rising the sea level and causing the flooding and in the coastal and the low-lying areas. The global warming has become a major concern worldwide, and the countries are signing the agreement to reduce the emission of the greenhouse gas. The one such argument is called Kyoto Protocol. So this greenhouse effect and the global warming is very important topic as per your exam point of view. Okay. Bad effect of air pollution is acid rain. The oxides of the sulfur and the nitrogen that are present in air react with the atmospheric water vapor to form the sulfuric and nitric acid respectively, and this acid mixed with the rainwater making the rain acidic, and this is called the acid rain. And the chemicals in acid rain can cause the pain to people and the corrosion of steel structures such as bridges and the erosion of the stone statues, and it destroys the vegetation by making the soil acidic, and it affects the survival of the aquatic plants and the animals by making the water of lake and pond acidic. So these are the bad effect of acid rain and as well as the bad effect of air pollutions. After that, the depletion of the ozone layer. The depletion of ozone layer by CFC chlorofluorocarbon is another harmful effect of air pollutions, and ozone layer is important because it absorbs the harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. And thinning of ozone layers allow the ultraviolet radiations to enter into the atmosphere of the earth, and which can cause the skin cancer and eye problem etc. in humans. Next bad effect of air pollution is health problem. This air pollution also created some major health problem. The first, the excess concentration of the carbon monoxide can cause the headache, drowsiness and the nausea, etc. And it is the poisonous gas that can even kill a person on prolonged exposure. Okay, and it combined with the hemoglobin in the blood and reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, and this can result in coma and even death. The long time exposure to shock can cause the heart related problem. The third one, the suspended particulate matter present in air can cause irritation in eyes, nose, throat, and it can also cause the respiratory problems like asthma, bronchitis and the lung cancer. Next one, the oxide of the nitrogens and the sulfur can also cause the respiratory problems including permanent lung damage, and the smoke can breathing difficulties such as asthma, cough, etc. in children. Okay, so these are the bad effect of air pollutions. Okay, one is the how to prevent the air pollutions, the prevention of air pollutions, and there is many ways to prevent these air pollutions. First one, by using the clean fuel like the CNG, the compressed natural gas, and the unleaded petrols in vehicles. Second one, by getting the exhaust of vehicles checked regularly. And third one, by installing the tall chimneys in factories, and electrostatic precipitator should be used to reduce the solid particulate matter. By planting the trees and the nurturing the ones already present, and the plants help to make the air clean. And the last one, by composting the organic waste rather than burning it. So these are the ways, and if you follow these ways to prevent our air pollutions. That's all for the today's lectures. Thank you everybody.